Welcome to the first Demarcation Media Dusted Off video. This is going to be a series of videos, and we're going to kind of explore the different ways to get your toys off the shelf, out of the box, and in action. And we're going to start off with some Mega Construx figures. So today we've got the Halo Heroes Series 12 Mark 7 with the Scorpion Punch armor. And then going up against our Spartan will be two of the Halo Heroes Series 12 Brute Warriors, as well as Craig himself. Now, for those of you who don't know, the whole reason that I even kind of set off into the world of Mega Construx was to have some more things to take photos of. Mega Construx kind of has the widest range of Halo action figures that's available, and also that's available at such a small size. So it's really easy to go out, take some photos, set them up in the dirt, whatever. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have an idea in my head. Here's a little quick mock-up shot that I put together. Sometimes it helps just to pose up your figures and take a quick photo of them before actually going out to wherever location you want to shoot. And speaking of locations, typically I'll just go out in my backyard and set them down in whatever dirt I can find back there. But today I actually have a spot that I've been wanting to go and photograph at for a while. It's a baseball field at a nearby park. So let's go ahead and go there now. And we're here. The great thing about a spot like this is we can just set up literally wherever because it's all dirt. So let's go ahead and get our supplies out. Bags of figures, bag of extras, we'll talk about that in a second. And then of course the camera. Now, I always like to carry with me a bag of extra pieces. I like to call this support material, just scene building stuff. So now we're gonna go ahead and start setting up the figures. Posing can take some work. You have to adjust and readjust your scene to make sure it works. There we go. Our scene is all set. Just make sure the ground looks all right, and now it's time to start shooting. Getting down onto the figures level is kind of always necessary to make sure you're not like looking down on them as toys. You want to look at them as actual living creatures. As you progress a shot, sometimes you have to just kind of go back in and continue adjusting it to make sure that everything can get into the camera properly. Once we check to make sure we have our shot, we're going to bring it into Photoshop and start adding some effects. So we're going to go ahead and you can see here there's 2 of every file, and that's because I'm working with raw files. The NEF is Nikon's raw file, and I typically work with those because all of the data is there, and you can basically do whatever you want in terms of color grading with a raw file. So we'll just do some quick color tweaks and then open up the image. Pull it in, and then the first thing that I always do is the Spartan's visor. So we're gonna sharpen up the visor a little bit because it's slightly blurry. Then once we've got that, we'll kind of clean up some of the edges, some of the dust, just to make it look a little better. And then we're gonna start making the visor glow. That looks pretty good. Blur it a little bit. Add the inner glow. Then we're gonna start adding a little bit more motion to the scene. We'll start with the gravity hammerhead, add some motion blur. Add some to the handle as well. And then of course, poor Craig getting his face smashed into the ground. He'd obviously be moving. So some more motion blur. You got to make sure you get it at the right angle. Now we're going to bring in another photo. We're going to use this to make the shotgun muzzle flare. Blur it up a little bit. It's got to look natural because it's outside the focus area, so it's going to be a little bit blurry. And then save early, save often. If you don't save, you could potentially lose your work. Just make sure, again, all the light coming off the muzzle flare looks natural. You don't want it too bright, you don't want it too dim. And now we also need some more blur for this brute warrior in the front. If you're getting hit by a shotgun bullet, you're probably going to be moving. Now we're going to add some more depth to the scene as a whole. We've got a photo of snow actually, but we're going to use this snow as flying dust. We've got some debris. Then get rid of the debris that kind of detracts from the scene. If it's too big or in the way, then it's not going to look good. Save again. Again, clean up some of the distracting bits. Now we're going to do some color grading. We've got some presets here. Some of them I really like using. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Sometimes you have to just do it manually. And then eventually you get to the point where it's just trial and error. You've got to see what works, what doesn't. Again, more bits to clean up. Sometimes it's just you get this weird light spot and it detracts from the photo, so you just have to go ahead and remove it. Let's see, we'll look through the presets again. There we go, that looks pretty good. Gotta make sure, it was pretty bright at the park, so we're gonna make sure that the light isn't too overpowering. Now, I thought I was almost finished, but I noticed a couple things that needed to be fixed. Biggest one was there was no motion in the dirt where Craig's head was hitting. There would be some flying dirt, so we're gonna fix that. Cut the pieces of dirt out and then add some motion blur. See, now it looks like flying sand. Now we're gonna go ahead and export it. Make sure to lower the quality a little bit because we want it to be a reasonable size. Go ahead and export it into the Halo folder. And there we go, there is our final photo. Look at that. We took, let me go ahead and put up our original shot. See, here's our concept that we started with, and we took it from this kind of idea, brought it all the way out, finished it, and this is our result. Well, there you have it. We got these 4 figures dusted off and in an epic battle. So I hope this kind of gives you an idea of what the Dusted Off series is going to cover. And I hope too that it gives you some ideas for your own Mega Construx photos, because the potential that Mega Construx has for photography is literally endless. With larger action figures, it can be kind of difficult to get good photos, good dynamic photos, because you have to have either a large studio or a large space to shoot in outside. But with these guys, they're so small and they're so articulated, you can pose them up, stick them out in the dirt, and you have an epic battle scene. And two, with their size, you have an endless world out there to have them explore. So I would love to see what you guys come up with. If you take some photos and you want me to see them, post them to the Mega Construx subreddit, or post them in pretty much any of the Mega Construx Discord servers and tag me there. I'd love to see what you come up with. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.